This timeline is crazy, man.
I know. So many things coming at once.
Alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
No one wants.
Brace yourselves, because this story is straight out of a Hollywood thriller. Imagine a courtroom packed with tension, tears flowing, emotions skyrocketing, and right at the heart of the chaos, the daughters of none other than music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. That's right! Delilah, Chance, and Jesse are allegedly reaching their breaking point. And now, the drama is boiling over for the world to witness. But the real question is, what's happening behind the scenes? Why are these young women supposedly plotting to file for emancipation? And how does this all connect to the lingering mystery surrounding their late mother, Kim Porter?
Tell the truth. So hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time.
Here's the inside scoop. Diddy's daughters, who have always kept a low profile, are suddenly taking center stage in the headlines. For years, they played the role of devoted daughters, standing by their father's side at lavish red carpet events and sharing picture-perfect family moments online. But now, sources claim they're ready to break free and cut all ties. And honestly, can you blame them? With Diddy's name swirling in controversy after controversy, these young women might just be looking for a fresh start, away from the storm. But here's the real bombshell. This isn't just about legal battles or making headlines. There's a deeper, darker layer to this saga. The lingering mystery behind Kim Porter's sudden passing and the alleged toxic family dynamics that followed.
Kim Porter, that is Diddy's ex, who's also the mother of his 3 of his children,
Right.
has detailed the alleged abuse that she suffered at his hands.
Oh, no.
And this is all in...
Let's take it back to 2018, the year everything changed. Kim Porter, Diddy's longtime partner and mother to 3 of his children, tragically lost her life. The official cause, pneumonia. But from the moment the news broke, whispers of something far more sinister started swirling. And now, those whispers are growing into full-blown allegations. Leaked autopsy details reveal that Kim was reportedly in good health just days before her passing. So how did things take such a drastic turn? That's the question on everyone's mind. And then there's this chilling detail. Allegedly, a casket for Kim was ordered a full week before she passed. Let that sink in. A week before. Who does that? It's unsettling details like these that have both insiders and conspiracy theorists demanding answers. But it gets even murkier. At the time of Kim's passing, her personal items, including her laptop, phone, and other electronics, were reportedly nowhere to be found. Strange, right? Someone with her level of resources and influence should have had those devices secured. So why were they missing? And more importantly, who had access to them? But somehow, those crucial personal items vanished into thin air. And then there's the unsettling condition of Kim's body as detailed in the autopsy report. While authorities didn't officially suspect foul play, certain eerie details like unexplained discoloration on her skin and odd contusions have sparked even more disturbing questions. Was this truly a natural passing, or is there a chilling truth lurking beneath the surface?
It was the same thing Kim was going through. The same thing, bro. Kim was going through the same thing. The beatings, you know what I'm saying?
Now, picture being one of Kim's daughters, growing up with these whispers haunting you at every turn. Even if you're unsure what to believe, the constant speculation surrounding your mother's untimely death would be impossible to ignore. And to make things worse, these unsettling rumors are just one part of the nightmare. Because then there's Diddy himself, the man at the center of controversy after controversy, accusations of controlling behavior, shocking claims of emotional and even physical mistreatment. The picture-perfect family image painted by the media, completely shattered.
Yeah.
there's no, every man possibly is capable. I think he's very capable of doing it. It's in his character. That's who he is. That's what comes with power. That's what comes with arrogance. That's what comes with, what makes him, power. That's just the selfishness that make you be.
Allegedly, Diddy's turbulent treatment of Kim left scars, not just on her, but on their children, who reportedly witnessed it all firsthand. And here's the most chilling part. An insider claims that Kim once confided in friends about a terrifying fear that Diddy might harm her. Let that sink in. If there's even a shred of truth to that, is it any surprise that her daughters are now desperately trying to escape his shadow? But here's the real shocker. This isn't just about the past. It's about the chaos unfolding right now. After Diddy's arrest and the legal firestorm that followed, the entire family dynamic seems to have shifted drastically. At first, his children stood by him, showing support in court and even posting messages online. But lately, that united front has completely crumbled. At Diddy's most recent court appearance, only his sons, Justin and Christian, showed up. His daughters were nowhere in sight.
Yesterday, on Monday, Diddy celebrated his 55th birthday, but this year was a lot different. It was no Diddy parties. It was none of that. None of that stuff. Well, happily so, I guess, right now. But anyway, so this is his first birthday behind.
And remember those carefully crafted birthday messages and public displays of love? Insiders now claim those were nothing more than scripted stunts, staged attempts to paint Diddy in a sympathetic light. If that's true, it's beyond heartbreaking. For Diddy's daughters, this public unraveling seems to have been the final straw. The latest whispers? They've reportedly been meeting with attorneys to figure out how to legally free themselves from their father's grip. And honestly, who could blame them? Imagine being a teenager or a young adult and watching your family's darkest secrets get exposed for the world to dissect. Sources close to the situation say the daughters feel deeply betrayed, not just by the disturbing allegations surrounding their father.
So there's still, it's crazy too because there's still more happening in court. Everything is still active even though we're not hearing about it as much anymore. And the people may be fatigued like we talked about prior.
But also, by the way their family has been handled since Kim's tragic passing. It's not just about escape anymore, it's about survival. Let's take a moment to talk about Kim Porter's legacy. She wasn't just a mother, she was a force of nature. Those who knew her best describe her as warm, kind, and fiercely devoted to her children. No matter what life threw her way, Kim always put her family first. But behind closed doors, her relationship with Diddy was allegedly anything but picture perfect. Insiders paint a troubling picture, emotional highs mixed with devastating lows. Allegedly, Diddy's controlling behavior left Kim feeling trapped, and she reportedly confided in close friends that their arguments sometimes spiraled into physical altercations. One particularly shocking claim comes from someone who worked closely with the couple. They recall a terrifying night when an argument exploded into an all-out war with objects being hurled across the room.
When you open up wine, the corkscrew. She took the corkscrew and caught him on his wrist defending himself. And he almost, I know he tore some ligament, but he almost hit an artery or came close to the artery or either scratched it or cut it a little bit because he just killed it.
Despite the chaos, Kim was no pushover. The insider described her as someone who stood her ground no matter what. But the scars, both emotional and physical, were undeniable. And now, years later, Kim's name is back in the headlines, this time linked to a leaked memoir that allegedly exposes explosive details about her life with Diddy. While some question the book's legitimacy, the contents, shocking! Allegedly, it's packed with claims of manipulation, mistreatment, and even chilling confessions of fear for her life. If true, this memoir could change everything. Dodo Diddy's legal team has, of course, dismissed the book as a complete sham, but that hasn't stopped it from skyrocketing to bestseller status and reigniting heated discussions about Kim's life and mysterious passing. And here's the real twist. Kim's own children, including Diddy's daughters, have publicly denied the book's authenticity, calling it a hurtful fabrication.
You get trafficking because he took her to different states and had her perform acts with different, male and different people.
But not everyone's convinced. Some fans and conspiracy theorists are pointing out the suspicious timing of the book's release, noting how its details eerily align with other bombshell allegations against Diddy. Coincidence? Or something much bigger at play? And let's not forget about Kim's daughters, who are caught in the middle of this storm of controversy. They didn't ask for this. They weren't prepared for this. On one side, they're still grieving their mother, haunted by unanswered questions surrounding her death. On the other, their father is facing some of the most damning accusations imaginable. Through it all, they're trying to find their own voices, figure out who they are and what they stand for. And if the rumors about their emancipation plans are true, this could be a defining moment, not just for them, but for the entire Combs dynasty. But here's the real kicker. This story isn't over. If Diddy's daughters really are breaking away, what comes next could change everything. And trust us, it only gets messier from here. We've talked about Diddy's daughters, but now let's shift gears to his sons, Justin and Christian Combs. If you thought the rumored emancipation was dramatic, buckle up, because the latest allegations surrounding these two might just blow your mind.
Individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and how
Justin and Christian aren't just standing by their father's side. They're allegedly caught up in the chaos themselves. And the claims being thrown around? They're the kind that make you question everything you thought you knew about this family. Let's break it down, starting with the courtroom drama. For months, Diddy has been fighting tooth and nail to get out on bail. He's tried everything, offering private security, putting up massive assets as collateral, you name it. But guess what? None of it has worked. And why not? Prosecutors argue that Diddy is a danger to the community and simply cannot be trusted to follow the rules. And the receipts they've brought to court? Wild. For starters, they claim Diddy has been making three-way calls from prison, allegedly reaching out to people he's explicitly banned from contacting. If that's true, it raises some serious red flags. What is he trying to say? Who is he trying to reach? And more importantly, what is he so desperate to control from behind bars? How is Diddy pulling this off? By allegedly using other inmates' phone accounts to bypass restrictions, like something straight out of a Hollywood crime thriller? And it doesn't stop there. Prosecutors claim Diddy has been pressuring his own family to relay messages to key witnesses, urging them to stay silent or even change their stories. If this is true, it's exactly why the courts keep slamming the door on his bail requests. But here's a twist that's flown under the radar. Diddy isn't just trying to control witnesses, he's allegedly trying to manipulate public opinion from behind bars. Sources say Diddy is strategizing with his team to launch social media campaigns aimed at swaying potential jurors. And remember those highly polished birthday tribute videos from his kids? Prosecutors now claim they weren't spontaneous gestures of love at all, but part of a carefully orchestrated PR stunt. And the most chilling part? Allegedly, Diddy was watching, tracking the likes, monitoring the comments, studying engagement. If true, it reveals just how far he's willing to go to reshape the narrative in his favor. But wait, it gets even darker. There are whispers that Diddy has been using coded language, not just in phone calls, but in letters and emails as well. Investigators have reportedly flagged certain words and phrases that seem innocent at first glance, but allegedly carry hidden meanings. For instance, a simple mention of recycling might actually mean destroying evidence. If this is real, it's not just desperate, it's straight up criminal mastermind territory. Allegedly, even innocent-sounding phrases like family gatherings might not mean what they seem. Prosecutors suspect they could actually be code for secret strategy meetings. These claims are still under investigation, but if they hold up, it paints the picture of a man who's not just fighting for his freedom. He's playing a high-stakes game, trying to outmaneuver the legal system at every turn. But here's the thing. So far, it's not working. Meanwhile, the sheer magnitude of this investigation is staggering. Authorities are reportedly combing through mountains of evidence, from financial records and text messages to security footage from Diddy's own properties. And it gets worse. they've seized multiple electronic devices that some believe could contain damning, game-changing information. One insider described the case as peeling back layers of an onion, with each new revelation leading to even more shocking questions. But here's where it gets even more chilling. Some of this evidence, so sensitive that it's reportedly being reviewed in private, away from prying eyes. If true, this changes everything. It means we're only scratching the surface, and what's still buried underneath could be even bigger than anyone imagined. But hold on, this gets even more twisted. Reports suggest that Diddy's sons, Justin and Christian, aren't just standing by their father, they're allegedly helping him cover his tracks. A leaked phone call between Diddy and Justin has been making the rounds, and let's just say it's raising a lot of eyebrows. In the call, Diddy reportedly drops a coded message telling Justin to get rid of the leftover pizza boxes. Just summering shots. Now let's be real. Nobody thinks he's actually talking about pizza. Insiders claim this phrase is a thinly veiled reference to evidence. Evidence that, if found, could blow his entire case wide open. And according to these same sources, Justin and Christian have been tasked with cleaning up their father's mess, both literally and figuratively. But here's the million-dollar question. Why would they risk getting involved in something this dangerous? Some say it's about loyalty. Others believe it's because they've been raised in a world where covering up scandals is just another day in the life. Think about it. These are young men who grew up in the lap of luxury, watching their father navigate the highs and lows of fame. If the allegations are true, it's possible they've been conditioned to believe that protecting the family name trumps everything, even the truth. And if that's the case, it's not just scandalous, it's heartbreaking. And if you thought things couldn't get any more tragic, let's talk about the mountain of lawsuits stacking up against the Combs family, because Diddy isn't the only one in legal hot water. His sons are now being dragged in too. Take, for example, a lawsuit from producer Rodney Jones. He claims he was coerced into participating in some of the very same activities that Diddy is now accused of orchestrating. And here's where it gets even more disturbing. Jones directly implicates Justin, alleging that he wasn't just aware of what was happening, but actively involved in setting things up. If true, this isn't just about one man's alleged crimes. It's about an entire culture of exploitation. And then there's Christian. He's facing his own set of allegations, with one lawsuit accusing him of inappropriate behavior toward a woman at an event hosted by his father. Even more disturbing, the suit claims this wasn't an isolated incident, but part of a larger pattern, allegedly enabled by the toxic environment Diddy created. Again, these are allegations, but the fact that both sons are being named in lawsuits alongside their father, that speaks volumes. It suggests that whatever has been happening in this family isn't just about one person, it's systemic. And now, let's pivot back to Diddy himself, because his legal team is in full crisis mode, allegedly working overtime to suppress evidence and control the narrative. But with so many moving pieces in this scandal, one thing is clear. The truth won't stay buried forever. Diddy's legal team is grasping at straws, arguing that the search warrants used to raid his homes were unconstitutional. They claim authorities manipulated the truth, conveniently leaving out key details and relying on questionable sources to get those warrants approved. Will this argument hold up in court? That remains to be seen. But one thing is crystal clear. Diddy's team is doing everything in their power to get this evidence thrown out. But here's the reality. Even if they succeed in suppressing some of the evidence, the damage is already done. The media coverage has been relentless. Public opinion turning against him fast. And honestly, at this point, it's hard to imagine a comeback. Between the abuse allegations, the mystery surrounding Kim Porter's passing, and now the shocking claims involving his sons, it's starting to feel like the walls are closing in. Even some of Diddy's most loyal fans are second-guessing their support. And what about the rest of his family? His mother, Janice Combs, who once stood by his side without hesitation, has been noticeably absent from his recent court appearances, a stark contrast to the public shows of support she once gave. So what's really going on behind the scenes? Is she distancing herself? Or is she bracing for what's to come? Because if the latest revelations are any indication, this scandal is far from over. Insiders say Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, is devastated. She's reportedly struggling to process everything, torn between the son she knows and the overwhelming allegations that are threatening to destroy his legacy. And then there's Diddy's youngest daughter, Love. She's far too young to understand the storm raging around her right now, but one day she will. The real question is, what kind of world will she grow up in? Will she be forced to hear the same whispers? The same disturbing accusations that have haunted her older siblings? It's heartbreaking to even think about. But this story isn't just about Diddy, it's also about Kim Porter's legacy. As more shocking details about her life and relationship with Diddy come to light, her name is becoming a symbol of justice. Friends and family are no longer staying silent. They're speaking out, demanding answers, pushing for a renewed investigation into her passing. Even Kim's ex, Al B. Sure, has stepped forward, using his platform to amplify the calls for accountability. The message is loud and clear. Kim's story isn't over. Her memory remains a powerful force, a name that refuses to be forgotten in this unfolding saga. So where does that leave us? Honestly, it feels like we're watching a real-life soap opera unfold in slow motion. Except this time, the stakes are terrifyingly real. And the final chapter? Nowhere near written. Every single day, new revelations emerge, new allegations surface, and even more questions demand answers. Will Diddy's daughters officially break free and go through with their rumored emancipation? Will his sons be forced to face the consequences of their alleged involvement? And what about Diddy himself? Can he somehow salvage his name? Or are we witnessing the downfall of a music industry titan? We want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and tell us what you think happens next. And listen, if you've made it this far, don't leave without subscribing. Hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss an update on this case and every other shocking celebrity scandal. One click, and you'll always be the first to know what's really going on. While you're at it, hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs to hear the truth. This story is far from over, and trust me, you'll want to be here when the next bombshell drops. See you in the next one.